Neighborhood love dealer, how are you? Happy Sunday, happy birthday, happy Aquarius, happy everything. If it's happy, if it's up, then it's stuck. If it's down, then you're a clown, okay? Good morning, big guy, baby, big guy, shirts on, pants on, something, fleek. Okay, so somebody's outfit. Someone thinks they're the big guy. Somebody's bigger than the program. Okay, so I fought with my messages this morning, and actually, I came so that someone might be saved today. The message is in details. I'm going to describe to you some situations. You may or may not find yourself adjacent or attached to the situation, takes what resonates. But the thing is, someone may save themselves a lot of trouble and heartache if they only take heed to advice. It doesn't have to be my advice, it could be your own. But we're here to make suggestions so that we could live for our higher self, right? Okay. Good morning. I'm going to start with a simple psalm, one that everybody is aware of because there is someone who has not been as faithful and have not been studying, maybe meditating, or they just don't have the protection that they need. And sometimes you have to help people who wouldn't help you. Sometimes you have to help people who couldn't help you, who didn't help you. Sometimes you have to be the saving voice. Sometimes your testimony or things that you've been through. Good morning, the divine timing, 333 on the clock. 3 3 is a good number. I've been getting tens and sevens lately too. Take heed, pay attention, spiritual numbers. Okay, so sometimes you have to save the person that was not willing to save you. Sometimes you have to give advice where you were giving none, and you have to give clues. Now, some people may not take your message well. Some people may think that you have an ulterior motive. It's none of your business how a person takes you. Uh, I'm learning that it's none of my business how a person accepts or does not accept me. It is my business, however, how I proceed after the moment. So here it is. I'm going to give you your Psalms and then I'm going to give you the descriptions. There will be no tarot today because this was an important and a pertinent message, and I don't want to mix it up with anything because I hope this helps someone like really do better, right? Okay, so we're going to start with 23, Psalms 23. If you know it, say it with me. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. I'm sorry, somebody needs my message. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Selah, so be it. Amen. All right, so let's get into it because I could feel it. Like somebody needs to know. Okay, so lots of light. Okay, so there's a situation in where there are spouses involved, and it's just a social hierarchy, honestly, and it begins from a family base, and let me just not sugarcoat it. There's a situation where there's a man, and this man is really good. He's really good at soothsaying, and he's also good at playing the victim. He's very good at putting you in a position to where you are defending him. And honestly, when you're out with a person in a social setting, It is usual to take care and guard the people that are with you. But in this instinct, I need you to pay attention who you decide to protect. Most times when a person wants to put a hook into you, they will put you in a position because we now have a community of dark psychologists. People are no longer willing to outright put their hands on you. People are actually trying to get you to do the damage to yourself while they benefit from it. We have a new culture, and the culture is called insurance. I think they should make a law to where a person has to cross certain has to provide certain life receipts in order to even be able to get a life insurance with you. However, this person is been around the block plenty of times and knows this type of dark psychology. See, this is the thing. We've graduated from blue collar. People no longer want to have calloused hands when doing crime because most people think of brute force when they think of crime. We've entered a realm where everybody is now deciding that they want to do the no-touch trauma. They want to do the white-collar crime. They are willing to risk scam because it's not as tacky or brutish seeming as white-collar crime. Now, these people, because it can definitely be a female, but these people, they enter into contracts. These contracts look like friendships. These contracts look like marriage. These contracts look like business. And they may start off innocent, true enough. But the thing is, seeds are being planted. Have you ever heard of a species that comes into, it's like weeds in the grass. If you plant one, all sorts of sprouts will come about and it'll probably suffocate the yard. So if you have good things in your yard, it's good to do your weeding often, quite often. So back to what I was saying about this person putting you in a position to where you are protecting them. The reason why they need you to be in a position of defense is because now they're in a position of offense in your case. So while you're running around putting out their fires that they're not telling you, they are literally lighting as they make their way to you. As they make these fires, they walk upon your doorstep, on your date, at your car, in your phone, on your text. And this person has not a problem letting you know that they're not perfect. They have not a problem letting you know that they have needs, that they lack things. This person is going to try and trauma dump if they haven't already. They're not going to have any shame in telling you what people have done to them because this has worked for a very long time. Once they get you to feel sorry for them or put you in a position to where you feel like you have to protect them, aka a mothering, fathering, then the hooks are laid. Not quite yet, because they have to brief your family. They have to go into your family and they have to see the dynamics. They need to see if they are able to either isolate you, alienate you, or they recruit one of the family members that probably didn't like you. Now, you have to be careful because if you have a lot of maybe insecure family members, if you have a lot of financially irresponsible family members, if you have family members that probably weren't paying you any mind and you weren't paying them any mind, a seed can be sown there because they don't know what really would have come out of your mouth. So you have to be extra vigilant when you are meeting new people. Now, this individual or these individuals, it's usually two at a time because someone has to be the lookout or someone has to and someone has to be the grifter. And these are interchangeable depending on the needs. Sometimes children are put in because children are a great distraction. Children are a great way to extract your money. Children are a great way to get you to lower your defenses. And they're also a way to launder money. Sometimes a person will put the use of the money toward kids. Well, they'll say that, but the use of the money will go toward another investment because when a person knows that they will set a certain amount of fires in their life, they know they have a certain time limit to get what they need out of you before they go on to the next person. So there's always, almost always, someone waiting in the wings. Either they're waiting in the wings in the future or they're still waiting from behind. And they have not quite caught on to the fact that they're hooked into the scam. Sometimes people less valuable than you deem yourself, or people who have less to give, they will be hooked into the scheme because really the big fish is the prime goal. The prime goal is to have the big fish putting out so many fires and so distracted that they don't know that several things are being done. They're being doxxed. They have several people looking at them on social media platforms, be it family, friends, you name it, co-workers. Those people are working, whether they know it or not. And the voluntary information is the best. But sometimes you have to wonder why a person comes and asks about another person's social media. Why haven't they gone there themselves? 2, if you have a conversation with someone and they start to talk about things that are personal and familiar to you and you haven't told them, that's a red flag. That means someone is definitely doing a dox on you. They are investigating you and they're trying to find a weak spot, or they're trying to find out how to work you into their scheme. There are levels to these things, and you do not know who the people who has been recruited. The one thing that can give you a red flag is this person will either try to ask you personal questions, try to get privy to your personal life. They'll pop up unannounced because they're trying to catch you off guard. They really want to see what you have going on, but they will not ask. These people will pry on you. They'll ask you about your taxes. They'll ask you about your rent. They'll ask you certain things because they need to get as close to you as possible so that they can go back and give the information. Another thing to be aware of is when you're going out and you're drinking, this person will make you in charge of the liquor. This person will make you in charge of the money. This is another tactic that weakens your defenses and makes you believe that this person is being upright with you. You will not know that there's someone across the room because they love to party. They love to party because chaos is cover. When a person is always suggesting to go out and it's not to eat and it's not an intimate dinners, even though you have to be careful of that, you have no idea what restaurant staff they're already familiar with and who's already paid to be on the sidelines, and they're ready with a roofie or something. They can put arsenic, they can do a lot of things. These people are getting very, very, very intelligent about this thing. So I'm hoping that I saved someone from this situation. And all while these things are going on, you have to pay attention. There are people that have tap machines that can come up. You're talking to your lover. Nonetheless, he gazes at the female wait staff a lot longer than you think he should. Sometimes it's not because he wants the wait staff. Sometimes it's because they are working together. And sometimes they're not even working together. She's just silly enough to think that she can take your man. But the issue is not that. The issue is that there might be somebody that walks and bumps your chair that has an electronic device to copy all of your to copy all of your no touch tap credit cards. This is the thing. You have to pay attention. You have to be so vigilant. They have so many ways to steal. Opening your mail, somebody can steal. Opening an email, somebody can steal. Opening a text, somebody can steal. They are now as good as using AI to make UPS stickers and thumbnails. They're making Googles. They are going through your best top merchants. They're really copying, and they're trying to steal. And guess who else is trying to steal? The man and the woman that's in your life that has you so off kilter. You'll notice the change in your weight. Your weight will go up and down around this person. Not because you're exercising or not because you're eating different. It's because your digestion has changed. Your body is trying to let you know that something is off kilter. Now, this person might go to doctor's appointments with you, and it may seem like, cool and calm at first, but this person needs to know what to do to you in order to get you out of here without being detected. So the caring spouse is definitely a character that will be played. This character will be played to some of the family members that they think will probably have smoke later on. And this will also be played out to some people in the public who they think might remember that they were around you. So when a person is, and that's another red flag, when a person is very discreet about dating you and does not take you out, you might be a secret and you might be a part of the scheme. So pay attention. I'm not saying go out and tell it, shout it to the world, because you might not be the big fish. And you might not know what the other fishes are capable of. Because let's be frank, people that come up with these things, they don't deal with the most upright people. And sometimes the people that have joined are the people that they have beaten, and they have joined because they feel like it's better to be with them than to not. And they've seen this person in action. And some of these people have seen this person actually come out on top. That's their perspective. And some of them end up wanting in. I also saw this on a Netflix special called I Care a Lot, where this woman was basically the conservatorship of his mother, locked him away from his mom, locked him away from the mom's money, locked him away, period. And he had to resort to some gang style stuff only to, in the end of the movie, want to join her because of the way how heartless and calculated she went about stealing thousands of people's. I mean, she was in charge of people's information. She was in charge of finding care and providing care and directing care. However, this is what this leads me to. This man or this woman, that's part of the game plan. If they can't get you out of your property or your money, if they can't find someone in your family to latch on to siphon and embezzle money, they're going to try to drive you crazy through gang stalking and lots of annuances and triggers. And then they're going to try to put you away because they don't need you loose telling everyone what I'm telling you now. They're going to try to turn you into Wendy Williams. They're going to try to say that you're an invalid. But meanwhile, they're still going to try to get your money, your property, anything of value to you. Because now you've not only messed up the program, you've directly assaulted their pride, and their pride is their plan and their pimpology. You understand? So I'm hoping I am giving someone something to hold on to. Pay attention. The reason why 24-hour spots are frequented. Now, these people like 7-Eleven. They like Royal Farms. They like McDonald's. They like fast food because they live a fast life. Things have to be inconvenience for them. Everything has to be of their convenience and an inconvenience to you. You will see this person spend certain amounts of money strategically, and you will also see this person complain strategically. It is because it is an attempt to have you more invested than they ever will be. Mind you, this person has to hold on to their budget because they have to pay the players. Because everybody at the end of the day has to get from this scheme. And sometimes they're in it to take care of their family. Oh, yes, pay attention to a person's family. Now, if they're the breadwinner and they tell you that their family puts pressure on them, their family always wants them to pay the bills, it's because they want you to pick up their part. They want you to compensate. And once you start compensating, they'll put their pocket, they'll leave their wallet. You won't see them offer to pay for much. They'll be watching you because it's not that they don't have money. Let me tell you this. It's not that they don't have money. They need you to be dry. They need you to be in a vulnerable position. And even if you have lots of money, they need to see you spend it. They want you to spend yours. If you have kids, they're not coming into your life. They don't have life insurance. They don't have allowance money. They're coming to take from your kids, especially if you have older kids. They watch what your kids do for work, and then they tell you, oh, your kids don't need to be here. They have other fathers. They've been raised this, that, and the third. And you think for a minute that, yes, my husband is my partner. He's going to be there with me. He's going to wipe my tush. My kids are not going to do that. That man's not going to wipe your tush either. He's going to find a young woman and he's going to trick her into taking care of him. And he might even pay her to take care of you because he's got other fish to fry. And if he can put you in a situation to where you're going to get your booty wiped, and he can put you in a situation where you can't leave and he can move around, oh, definitely. He's got an endless supply, and he's got somebody to cry to, and he's also got somebody to cry about. He's going to go to the bar, and he's going to say, my wife has no sex with me anymore. You know, the same thing they do when you're pregnant or when you're just having a baby. She won't give me sex. She's so mean. She's so crazy. Meanwhile, he's the one that's done the damage. It happens in the female realm, but more often than not, it happens in the male realm, where they're just using everybody's pain as a point, as a talking point. Yes, your pain has gotten that man so much, vajayjay, unbeknownst to the victims. He's coerced quite a few people into bed, into relationships, into courtships. He's coerced a few to the bank because you're such an awful lick. You're an awful lick. How dare you still be proof that I'm a bad person? Got to get rid of you. Got to tuck you somewhere before you unleash my evil plan. Oh, yes. It doesn't stop in conservatorship. They tried to get life insurances. They tried to steal your homes, your property. They tried to adopt your kids, or they just try to call CPS or anything to do something to you. And it's crazy because they'll work with a dirty cop, a dirty lawyer, a dirty attorney, somebody who they've seen do dirt just like them, and then they're hooked in. You know, and I think this is why the boys like to drink together, because this is when the secrets slip and this is when the blackmail begins. A lot of times you guys are not friends. You guys just have too many secrets to leave each other's side. What? Enemies close, 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 close. Where's a friend? You're surrounded by your enemies. A lot of friend sets are compiled of enemies with secrets that they don't want told. Interesting. Very, very interesting. See, I came here with no message and just a warning, but it seems to be falling out of my mouth. I did some research on the Delmarva area. For the people who know the Delmarva, which never began, but it's still on the board. There is a 7-Eleven that had the original Ouija board. I didn't know the Ouija board originated in Maryland. I didn't know that there was a 7-Eleven associated with it. That's another thing about being open 24/7. See, the schemes run 24/7. And I think this is why this person only sleeps for a small amount of hours in the middle of the day. You'll almost never catch them sleeping at night. It's the demons, you see. They ride around and keep them company. It's interesting. They love the moon. You see, that's what a wolf does. And during the day, they become a sheep. That's when they be homeless. That's not homeless. I meant to say helpless. Yikes. Yeah. So, when you meet them at night, they're pretty bold. They're pretty bravado. They have money for drinks. They have money for chicken from real farms. Why do I keep getting that? They eat the pizza, that awful slice that looks like cafeteria. They eat that. And they are very impulsive, and they're very, I guess the liquor makes them charismatic. The liquor makes them charismatic, but in the daytime they become sheeps. They need gas. They need a cigarette. They need help applying for benefits. Oh, they start from 20s now. And they go into nearly the 80s. Never really making any friends. They cosplay that. They never make real good friends. So when people see them approach, they don't usually turn them away because they know how much dirt they get into. They don't usually turn them away because they know that this person is, I would say, lower than a rat. A weasel would be an upgrade. This person is low. This person, like, even when people see them coming, it's like nobody reveals how much they don't like this person because they don't know what this person is capable of, because this person is capable of everything. This person can get your brake lines cut right after they ask you for a ride. This person will watch you cook dinner and tell you that they'll make the plates because your plate is special. This person will change your liquor. And they need to know what you're allergic to because that's what they'll get. This person watches you and you think this person is watching you with endearment. This person is watching to see if the thing is working that they did. They're watching to see if you notice. If they watch you with a smile, they're reconfiguring. Or they might just be upset that they have to do it again. Be careful randomly sending you out for rides. Just randomly sending you out on an errand and they don't go with you. An errand that they could have done. Be careful of asking for favors, small ones, just to see how much they can work you, because it'll get bigger. It'll get bigger. Lazy is one thing, but making you hazy is another. And they usually don't have consistent good relations. It's spotty at best. You'll become a spit start. It's not normal to always become a spit start. That's a clue. Everything and everyone becomes competition. Anyone you're close to, even your kids, they'll be jealous of your kids. Be careful of a person who hasn't had a good childhood. They'll be jealous of your kid, and that'll make you a target. Their mother didn't love them, so how dare you love your kids? It's sick, but it's true. They forget that they were kids once, so they pass it on. They pay it forward. Interesting. And they isolate you from past conquests that they weren't able to conquer. And they build it up. It's just like the Romika and Holly case. Like, there's a situation, I've been through that before. I've been through a situation in where a person, I kept wondering why the person that they were dating never came around. I'd never seen this person's face. It was as if though they were a phantom or something. And then I realized that it was done on purpose. This person kept them away from me. One, because to see me was to make them become alive. And two, it would be too much proof. And three, they were working on this person. So you can't have two of your projects crossing. You can't be simultaneously trying to steal from me and her at the same time, especially when you're telling both of us we're broke. You're telling both of us we're worthless. You're telling both of us we're valueless. So if we were to actually see that it's only you that has no value, of course that would mess the plan up. But people they usually go for it. Situations. So that's the message. I would like you to be vigilant going forward, especially when you get into this sort of situation in the spiritual community, because sometimes they use your ignorance or they use your intelligence against you. Now, if this person knows that you're into spirituality, they'll become spiritual bullies. They will use your God against you. They will use your cards against you. They will use your knowledge against you. They will use the lack thereof, especially if they are well versed in it before you've gotten versed in it. So they will use. I had an ex tell a crew of people that me was putting my hands in that bippity bop shit. No, sir. I always tell people, That's too much of a price to pay for me. And I also, thinking that I was saving this individual from another individual, did not know that even if they weren't together, they got together with the same plan. They both were in on it. So now they're running around and they're spreading things around town, saying things about witchcraft and black magic and all that stuff, right? And it's interesting because I just found out that in a native country, that Shango, it was Shango. I knew about the word Obeah. I always put that with the Jamaicans, but now I'm hearing about Shango, which is also practiced in Brazil and certain other places in Trinidad as well. Thank God I did not go to Trinidad. The reason why it would not have been good for me to go to Trinidad prior to me finding what all of this is because there were some things and traps laid there in bloodlines that I wasn't privy to. And then when I started to get attacked by certain people, and then I started hearing my name in certain conversations, and they said that she was doing this and she was doing that. Yet I was the only one getting stolen from, and I was the only one being isolated and being treated a certain way. So it made me know that there were things being done against me because I wouldn't go into the fold and I wouldn't allow the conquering to happen. And let's just be frank about it, because I was appalled. I know that there are still individuals lurking that have a special interest in trying to conquer me, especially the one that I hear when she walks past my house saying, she's not in the cold yet, she's not suffering yet. Yes, I see you, Earth Rat. You and your twin brother. I think it's funny when I see you nibbling cheese in the middle of the night behind the wheel. You think no one sees you. Running like a rat in between things, in betwixt things. You and your colony, I pay you no mind. I wish you would go to sleep at a decent time at night and stop making so much damn noise. Anywho. I'm just being me. I have to let you know that I am aware of my situation as well as other situations. I don't feel like I'm the only one that's being pursued in this situation. I do feel like the 5D activity has picked up in my city, which has unleashed some pretty bad things. I think this is why people will steal if you stay still too long. They will steal your underwears. You have to put a ring camera in your pants. This is serious. And I definitely am putting those two together. I feel as though as long as the amount of bad intentions are increasing in the mind, we haven't even gotten to your tax, but in the mind, you're creating a situation in where that little thing from the fallen gets to get cousins and friends. You know, you guys released a horde of shit you can't see. And you're trying to figure out why. It's unexplainable that everyone, I mean, people with some great jobs and good benefits are throwing it to the wayside for things that they would have been able to afford had they just stayed the course or made different decisions, because there is a way to come up without having to dig ditches for other people. I mean, there is a way, but I mean, I'm just tapping into this. I'm late to the party. Everybody else has been there. But I like the movie Beautiful Creatures, and I like the movie The Craft. I actually just saw Sinners like last weekend. I finally saw, I was scared of that movie, honestly. I still won't watch Wicked. I won't. And I barely watched Sinners, but eventually it got okay. It got okay. It was a little, but it got okay. Sinners was okay. But yeah, pay attention. Pay attention. The frequency is here. And remember what I was saying about the songs. There are these older people that want to be YNs. These older people are destiny swapping with y'all at these clubs. When they run up and they try to triangulate you with your girlfriend, this is what I meant. What? In 2023, when I said some of these old people can't teach you shit. They can teach you what not to be. And I stand on it. Pay attention. Because I had an older fella tell me that my song couldn't be more than 2 minutes. All the songs that ever have put into me, that ever inspired me, they were not no 2 minutes. And for a person to come from that era and try to preach me down, not even realizing, because I don't think he realized how old I was at the time, because I appear this way, but I am in my 40s. Like, he didn't even understand. Like, you telling me to breathe, at the same time you tying something around my neck. You want me to come in and do a recording session that helps us all, by the way. But at the same time, you're telling me, oh, that's too poetic, that's too much, that you need to give him this and you need to break it down. And then he proceeded to sing some awful compilation of garbage with a straight face. And he tried to make me feel like the time I spent, because I feel like I be like, when I write these songs in 6 and 8 minutes straight out the bed, this is me coming out of meditation. This is me really, after I pray, after I hit the Bible, and it's like I'm in a space that nobody can enter. And for me to come out of my space and have my space disrespected by somebody who's already had their space respected and feel as though they're going to talk me out of my time, it makes me think of unforgivable things. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I am not that person. I am very mathematical once I feel as though emotions don't fit the equation or the space. I'm very good at reading the room. And it's almost scary how practical I can be once I feel as though it's a null and a nil. And trust me, when I start using words like null and a nil, it's I feel that. And a lot of things that people aren't aware of is my heart beat, but it stops.